So you've decided to get some ducks, or perhaps you already have ducks and you stumbled across this video. Well, if you're anything like me, you love your animals, and I love my ducks. They're super cute and super fun, but they can be difficult to manage. So I decided to make this video of my top 5 things you probably wouldn't think of that will make taking care of your ducks super easy, as well as make them really happy. But before we get into it, if this video helps you, be sure to leave a like, comment, let me know about your duck family, and just realize this cute little face here, they grow overnight, guys, okay? So enjoy it while it's there. You'll make a lot of memories. And then before you know it, you'll wake up to these little monsters here. I'm totally kidding. Here's my list.
Babies. Give them a hug. Ooh. Ooh. Orange is over me.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys. It means so much. Thanks.
Number 5, a water feeder. Now, I know at face value, you're like, of course, ducks need water. I already know that. Why am I watching the video? Well, you might overlook this if your ducks have a pool, which ideally they should, because their water's in their pool. So I myself debated about getting them one of these for a while, and I'm so happy I did because they use this all the time. The one I got has like a stainless steel bracket. I'll link everything in this video in the description. It's been super great. The only modification I'm thinking about doing is adding like a fill port on the top, which I'll do with the bulkhead. I just haven't done it yet. But if you do this, which you should, add some rocks at the bottom. Otherwise, they'll just like dabble in the water and then dig holes in the dirt. So that's why the rocks are there, so they can't really do that. But it's a great investment and your ducks will love it. Number 4, the duck pool. Now, this is a really important decision for you to make because your ducks absolutely love water and they love being able to swim in their pool if that's possible. So you want something that has a little bit of depth, but you have to get the right pool because otherwise it's just not going to be durable for the ducks' usage, and you're just going to be replacing it and dealing with maintenance when you should just be cleaning their water every so often. So I'm showing you various examples here over the years of me trying different pools that ultimately didn't work. Some attempts were better than others. This is one of my worst attempts. After all this trial and error, the best pool, in my opinion, that I can use for my ducks is this 4x4 Intex pool. It's super durable for the application, and also it fits pool noodles on the rails absolutely perfectly. So your ducks are able to perch next to the water, dip their head down and drink it when they want to. It's just great. But I recently discovered that all pool noodles are not created equal. There's actually high density versions, and you need those because the actual standard pool noodle will deteriorate over time, the ones you get at the hardware store. By over time, I mean like in a month or two, they just start like almost melting. It's weird. But this high density version seems to be holding up pretty well in comparison. I have like a test going on right now. It's been about a month, and the green one is out there with one of the red ones, and they're both new, and the red one is already starting to fall apart a bit. But that said, pool noodles aren't difficult to replace, so if you just want to purchase them every so often for your ducks, that works too. One last thing that's really important is having a proper drainage system for the pool itself. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a mess in your duck run, and you don't want that. Your ducks might, but I'd recommend against it. For me, I simply use a drain that's designed for a rain gutter. Now, one thing to note about this is the basic pool setup. Whatever you end up doing with your pool, assuming it's not just a kiddie pool that you pump out every day or two, you need a good filtration system to keep your water clean for your ducks and extend your drain time and increase your maintenance intervals. And more importantly, to make maintenance easy. So I actually have all that covered in another video, but I just want to point it out in this video so you don't like get this setup and think your water is going to be perfect and peachy. So go watch that video. I show you how to build everything and the setup that works for me after a ton more trial and error. And then yeah, let's continue our list. Number 3, the scrub and sprayer. I got this little scrubbing stick to clean out algae, and if you don't know, ducks and their pools it creates a ton of algae over time, really fast as well. So I have that little scrubber. Before I drain the water, I'll kind of scrub all the excess algae off, and then when it's really dirty, periodically I'll use a sprayer with a 50-50 bleach water solution, or there's an actual product you can buy as well if you don't want to mix bleach, but it'll get all of this algae growth off. You spray it on, let it sit for maybe 5 minutes and rinse it out, and you're good to go. But this helps make cleanup so easy. Number 2, mealworms. This is like the most amazing food for ducks. I don't know why they love it, but they do. If you have a bag of mealworms, once they understand what they are, they'll run like crazy to their pool. This helps when you want to put them up. They go just like a dog with a treat. It's amazing. They love these things so much, you'll actually think that they love you so much. It's so important to get these for their treat. Also, you could feed ducks in the wild mealworms as well. A lot of people feed them bread, which is horrible for them. So yeah, if you just stumbled across this video and you want to feed some local ducks that you know, just grab a bag of mealworms. One thing you have to be careful about is there's these other type of worms that are being marketed as mealworms, but they're not mealworms. I'm no worm expert. They're called BSF larvae. They're like fly larvae, I guess. My ducks refuse to eat them, but on Amazon anyway, they're under mealworms. They're like the #1 best-selling mealworm. So just a heads up, be sure you check that when you purchase them. Number 1, the duck's misting system. This is the one I'm most proud of, and I know for a fact my ducks love it. Where I live, it gets really hot during the summer, but even a little heat, imagine if you had all those feathers. You would like a misting system if you could have one. So the way I set this up, it's fully automatic. You don't even have to think about it. I have a Bluetooth water timer connected with about a 10-foot water hose. The length that you need might vary to get it across the yard. Then I run the actual misting hose along the fence. And one thing to note here is that generally the clips that come with a misting system aren't that great. They'll fall out over time when the wood expands and contracts. So I bought these plastic U-hooks that also work very well, and the hose can't come undone. So from there, I drilled a hole into their run and I ran the misting line and fitted misters every so often where I wanted them, all the way around the run and above the pool. From there, the Bluetooth water timer has some software that you can program a schedule. You can run it whenever you want. It's so amazing. The full disclosure, the only downside is you can only program so many times, which to me doesn't make much sense. But I have it set to go off every 30 minutes from 11:30 a.m. until about 6:30 p.m. It's amazing. I've had the Bluetooth water timer for I think 2 years now, and the battery inside is at 80%. I haven't had any issues thus far. You'll also need to get a brass T-fitting so you can use your water hose. I'll link the one because I did have to go through a couple until one worked really reliably. So I'll link the one that I got as well, and hopefully your ducks love it as much as mine do. One last bonus tip is to get your ducks a sunshade. I have mine mounted over their pool, and this helps prevent algae growth. But the main purpose is to prevent the heat from getting to your ducks, and it helps keep them a lot cooler with the shade it provides. I purchased some mounting hardware that made installation incredibly easy, and you can adjust it to make it tighter or looser with these little guys here. In addition, I also have another sunshade on one side of their run that prevents heavy winds, whether it's really cold or just stormy, as well as provide additional shade. Alrighty guys, that is my top 5 things you need to get for your ducks. I hope this video was super helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think about the list. If you purchase any of these, they're all linked in the description. Let me know which ones you got and what you think about them. And most importantly, what your ducks think about them. Also, feel free to ask any questions if something was unclear. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Happy ducking. And I'll see you in the next one.
Why don't you love me no more? Why don't you love me like you used to? Because I still love you. I still love you the way I used to. Why don't you love me no more? Because I can't sing like I did once before. Yeah? Did I used to sing better, Blue? Is that how it happened?